Many years ago, habang nasa watch po tayo ni Pastor Bong, the land has peace, in great rest we have. But, of course, this is a new season now. Therefore, we need a new season of breakthrough.
Right.
Sir, Alfred.
As we continue for our prophetic gesture, I just want to read one of the new research at the moment. And it says, 97% of pastors have been betrayed, falsely accused, or hurt by their trusted friends. 70% of pastors battle depression. Why? Because they carry the burden of the congregations. That included the burden of their own families. And 7,000 churches close each year because of that. And 1,500 pastors quit each month. 10% will retire as pastor. 80% of pastors feel discouraged. 94% of pastors' families feel the pressure of ministry. 78% of pastors have not close or no close friends at all. 90% of pastors report working and serving the Lord. 55 to 57 hours per week. My challenge to the church is don't put your pastor at the pedestal where they can easily knock off. Don't just say, "Oh, pastor is a good preaching. What a powerful preaching. Pastor, your clothes is so fantastic, amazing." Don't put them on the place where they could easily get vulnerable and unprotected. We have to put them on somewhere else where they are protected. And that's why I challenge you to the church that we have to put our pastor in our prayer list where they could be protected. Amen. Because look at what this research, it says 7,000 churches close each year because many are sympathizers but few are agonizers. We are here today just because to feel spiritually empowered, but because we have this responsibility. We have learned earlier about the agreement. And Pastor Bong just said, when you agree with God, then the learning will start. And that learning, the process of that learning is to realign us and to where He wants us to go. We cannot go where God did not command us to go, because what awaits there is snare and traps of the enemy. That's why I remember one of African pastors prayed and said, "Lord, make me a thread and be my needle. Wherever you pull me, there I go." Sa Tagalog, makakatahi lang ako, Panginoon, may magagawa lang ako dahil ako'y pinangunahan mo. Because I'm aligned and to your purpose and to your calling. Now after that alignment, the next will be the assignment. God cannot just put you there. Naniniwala po ako, I believe that those who always in the presence of God are the first person will be entrusted more responsibility with God. Hindi po pwedeng ang pagtiwalaan ng Diyos ng isang spiritual na responsibilidad ay yung isang anak ng Diyos na hindi marunong mag-pray. I cannot believe that the Lord will entrust a great responsibility to a Christian who doesn't spend much time into the Lord. And yet they are asking millions of answered prayer while we're just spending 5 minutes prayer. That's why the assignment now, I believe, is that because you've already been educated, aligned into the calling of God, and the next is we have the tasks. And our task now is to protect first and foremost our pastors, our leaders, the church, and the vision of God. That's why, why the watchman, I remember in Ezekiel chapter 22 verse 30 says, "So I sought for a man the first thing as an intercessor, one of our great responsibility, or the hardest responsibility, should I say, in our humblest and modest claim, is that we have to stand on the gap. That gap is an empty space. And God cannot connect unto man. And man cannot touch the grace of God without someone interceding for them. And this is our part. There is always a missing link between the world and the presence of God. And that is our prayer. No wonder the Bible declares, Romans chapter 12 verse 1 says, brothers and sisters, in light of all I have shared with you about God's miracle, I urge you to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice to God, as sacred offerings that bring pleasure it is your reasonable or acceptable essential worship. Now, there are only three times that been mentioned in the Bible about incense, and that signifies the prayer. Exodus chapter 30, Psalms 141 verse 2, and Revelation chapter 5 verse 8 and 3 and 4. It speaks about the life of a person who is full of prayer. And remember, there's someone said, someone prayed to the Lord and said, Lord, make my life a prayer. Because we as an intercessor, we're standing on the gap. We are praying for those who are in darkness. I believe you are here today because someone prayed for you long time ago. We are all product of prayers. And I believe, church, that we have to reconnect man unto God by interceding with them. The Lord Jesus teaches those prayers. And now, the first thing that we have to do is we have to make our life pure and acceptable before God. Because your life itself, the prayers that you carried every day, it signifies that incense in the presence of God. Now, church, second responsibility that we have, being standing on the gap, is what Ezekiel chapter 22 verse 30, he said, I sought for a man. When I heard this word, when I read this word sought, it's first time, there's few in the Bible that you can see God or read God that He is looking for someone to standing in the gap. And you know what, church? One of the responsibility of the church is not only standing in the gap, but be as a watchman. You know why watchman? Where do usually watchmen stay? They stay on the higher ground. You cannot be an intercessor if you don't have faith. I tell you. You cannot be an intercessor if you don't have, you are not in a higher level of faith and understanding of who God is. Otherwise, you will continue to doubt the purpose of God and the calling of God in your life. That's why watchmen are always, understand what's the difference now between where were the watchmen standing? They're standing between a protected city and an open place. What separates from the open place and protected city is a wall. And on the top of the wall is a watchman. Watchmen who are not only guarding the enemy coming, but they also guarding the civilians that are coming through. Minsan ho, kalungkutan. Some intercessors, they're just watching the civilians and they fail to watch the attack of the enemy. They are watching someone's needs, but they fail to watch the responsibility before God. I just want to end up with this. Do you know that I found out that the Great Wall of China was built 2,000 years before they finished to build it all? And you know what? The purpose of that is to protect the whole Chinese community. And yet, the moment they finished the wall, the Mongol just entered into the gate without any effort. Why? Because the watchmen that they put stationed into that place, they failed to understand their assignment. They were there to gain, not to retain. Nandun sila para tingnan nila kung anong mapapakinabangan nila. Hindi yung kung anong pinapagawa sa kanila. Why a lot of church, a lot of pastor fail? Pag alam niyo po, ito po ninaiyak ko sa puso pa nagbabalitaan ko po, lalo si Ate Dory. We've learned what happened, and if I see Pastor Alea feeling weak, alam niyo po, tinitingnan ko ang aking sarili, agad sabi ko, I'm sorry Lord, I failed to pray for them. Because I myself, and not just because I am pastor, I don't have responsibility to pray for my pastor. The more that I would pray for them. Why there is a successful church? Because a lot of people in the church pray for their pastors. And so I have the challenge for you today, churches. We have to stand not just on the wall, but let our life be the wall itself to protect our pastors. Can we do that today? Amen? Today po, maaari ba tayo bumba ngayon at paligiran natin ang ating mga mahal na pastors at